Okay, so now that you've had a little review on the for loop, and we've learned how to draw, for example, this pattern here using the plot, now you can see how we have one going up and the other one going down simultaneously. Let's move on and actually go back to our circuit and our original sketch here, and let's see if we can dim some lights. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the camera. And I'll make it a little bigger. In fact, I was playing with it already, as you can see, because my light is fading up and down. And here's that sketch that we were working on just before we did the review of 4. And I've renamed it Introduction to AnalogWrite. This stuff is going to remain exactly the same. We've got our LEDs hooked up to pins 0, 1, and 2. We've got those pins set to output so we can dim them. I think I'll delete all of this stuff because we'll build a whole new set of functions. Oh, I got rid of my closed brace. There we go. And then I think actually I'll just delete all of this. Okay. So there we are. We're back to basically an introductory sketch here where we have our variables declared, and we have the direction of those pins set to output. So let's do something simple. Let's just make it first, we'll just make something that just dims the LED red, which is what you see happening right here. You can see the LED is getting brighter, and then it's going to, start over again, and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. So I'm going to call that function, here, I'm going to copy this, like I often do, and I'm going to paste it. And I think I'll call this dimR. Okay, good for dimming the red. So the first thing you need to do, and let me call that in the function here. And tidy my code. Okay. Let's look at the difference between digital write and analog write. It's really simple, actually. They're almost the same. They even spelled similar, right? Analog write is the command we're going to use. And in which case, we want to analog write, just like we do with digital write. We want to write to a pin. I'm going to choose the red LED. And instead of it just being high or low, I now have to choose a number, an 8-bit number, and that means it has to be between 0 and 255, okay, which is 256 individual numbers, including 0. So if I want it to be dim, I'll put a value of 50 in there. And tidy my code. And actually, I'll still throw a delay, even though we're not going to see anything, but that way I won't forget to do it later. I'll throw a delay of, I don't know, 20 milliseconds. This is unnecessary at this moment. It's just something I'm going to put in there to keep it from pulsing a lot. So if I load this, the only function it's running is going to be dimR. And if I load this, what we should see happen is that LED right there just dimly light. Now, it's actually more dramatic in person because, as you know, these cameras, they adjust their light depending on the amount of light. So the camera has switched and it's brightened my image, whereas if you were looking at it in real life, you would see that it's actually quite a bit dimmer than it is when it's bright. Let me show you what it looks like when it's bright, so we have a compare and contrast. Oh, let's do this. What the heck? We'll just make it so that you can see it sort of flash on and off. And I'll make it more like 100. So this is going to be, let's take this up to 250. And upload. So now we're going to see it flicker between 50 and 250, and you will see that it is actually much brighter. Okay, so between the two different values. Okay, so what I really want to do is I actually want it to fade. Okay, and you can guess what we'll use because we just talked about it in that last little review video. We're going to use a for loop. Alright, and I'm going to create my variable inside. Actually, you know what? I'll do it just slightly different so that you guys realize it can be done either way. I'm going to create my variable right here, and then I'm simply going to set I equal to 0, and I'm going to make I less than or equal to 255, and then I'm going to go I plus plus. Like so, and then I'm going to have my open brace, and I'm going to close it, and I'm going to tidy it so you can see that it's been properly indented in. So I've created my variable, I set it equal to 0, I want to go to 255, and I'm going to bring that back down to 20. And that way we can see it fade. Okay? So what we should see is it goes to 0, it's going to be off ever so briefly, and then it's going to get brighter. Oh, Brian, of course not. Look at what I did. You see what I did? I left it at 50. Duh. Don't ever do what I tell you to. Only do what I want you to. That has to switch to an I. Alright. And now we'll see that I is going to change, and of course the light gets brighter. Alright. And likewise then, if I want to make it so that it gets darker, just like we did here with this plot, we want to go up and down. If I want it to get darker, well, I'll start it at 255. No, I'll start at 254. Okay, and I want to go until it's greater than or equal, actually greater than 0. We'll just leave it at greater than 0. And we want to go I minus minus. And what we should see is it goes up and then it goes down. So hopefully it's going to work for me. Okay, so you can see it's getting brighter. And then it's getting dimmer, so it's following the same pattern. All right. So now let's do this. Let's do RGB. I'm going to copy this, and I want to dim RGB. So RGB. Okay. So in this case, I actually don't have to create any more variables. All I really have to do is, let's make it so that when red is going up, let's make blue go down. So that's nothing more than 255 minus I. Okay? And since we're starting at 0, so blue is going to start bright and then work its way down. And then when red is going down, let's make green go up. So let's make this G, and let's make this 255 minus I. Alright? So that means that green is going to start at 200, or it's going to start at 1, okay? And as this number gets bigger, G is going to get smaller. So let's just run this. We should see some kind of a pattern already, although it's going to, you're going to see it's going to look a little funny after the second iteration. But let's run it. And then we'll just build onto it real quick. We may only see it work well once. So the red, and oh, Brian, I am off my game today. You guys gotta yell out. I didn't load this one. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. And now we should change color. and we'll see the green come up. But one of the things is that we haven't told it to explicitly turn the green back down. Okay, so the green is just on. So what we have to do now is we just simply copy. Let's copy this. And so we started with red. We brought red up and down. Okay. And then we want to, and we started to, let's see, we brought green up. So I want to go red, and I think what I want to do is I want green to go down, because green just went up, and what we want is blue is down, so we want blue to go up, and then we want green to go down, and then we want red, let's see, red goes up, red goes down, green goes up, green goes down, blue goes up, and then actually I think that's it. We don't need this other one. Let's think about it. Red goes up, red goes down, green goes up, green goes down, blue goes up, blue goes down. So we've got it in 3 lines of code. Let's see if this works. So red goes up, green just went up, yeah, so you can see we have it transitioning just smooth through all the different colors. And if you were seeing it in person, you'd see it would actually have very, very pretty. There's a couple of shades of cyan in there and magenta and a few other colors kind of come and go as it fades in and out. The camera simply doesn't do it justice. Okay, so now you have the idea how to work this. I'm going to end this video, and I'll obviously see you again soon.